Hello, welcome to Maps for Rocks. This looks like it's going to be one of those days. Today I'm going to work on this Brazilian agate. Let me get it wet. I should have done that already. Give you an idea of the color of it. It's a pretty thick chunk, and I'm going to be taking it down a little bit thinner, but I cut it a little too thick. I cut it on my high-tech diamond saw before I got a guard, so it's a little thicker on this end than it is on this end too. On top of that, or before I got a 10-inch slab saw now that's got a auto feed to it, better vise to hold it in there with. So I don't care for all of this quartz, and I can see a bunch of pits and chunks of quartz missing in it already on that side. This side's not too bad, so I'll probably take off quite a bit of this side just to bring it back down to where they're both the same, both ends are the same thickness, and rounding the dome will take off more of it too, and then putting a rounded dome on the back side also. But it's one of those you can't really cut up and make a slab out of, or make a two out of, because of that quartz pocket in the middle. You'd end up losing a lot of your lines, or just leaving it open when you cut it in half. If you cut it this way, you're still going to have quartz on the outside edge of the rock, of the stone, after you get done polishing it, and I think that would chip off easier because it's already got cleavage planes in there that act like fractures. But I got a lot of skin to cut, or hide to cut off of this too, or rind, I guess you call it. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me swing this over here and zoom it in. There we go. So that's probably what'll happen today too. I'll probably get wore out grinding on this, because this is going to take the most time. It's going to take more time than the other one did. The other one was a lot thinner. Got something splattered on that. I wonder if that's plastic. This was in the fire also, so it's, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got some spots on it, look like water stains, only they're thick, and they're not coming off with a fingernail. So it's plastic that melted out of the ceiling of the pole barn when it burnt, and when we had the fire. Sharp edges. Semi-point. Do that with this next wheel, but I'm a dummy, so put up with me, if you would, please. Okay. I think I've done enough with the 80 grit. Maybe let's see if I can shallow up some of these pits I got in it. Let this dry up a little bit. And where you can see the pits in the face of that quartz pocket on both sides. Wow, had a lot of water in it. A minute there I thought I spit on it, but I know I didn't. Well, I don't think I did. That made a big, dark, humid spot, but it's not a smear like that last one was after blowing it out. It's kind of smeared across the rock. Left trails that were thicker. Oh, hurry up and dry, you. I got some crystal planes showing on this one. And these bugs are in the places where it's chipped out. That's a crystal pocket, what that is, and that. They may just stay on there because they allow a little bit of sparkle. Show up on camera. At least now you can see the pits. You can probably see the back end of them where the glare is shining. And then here's the pits. Still got water in that one. I had it on my finger. I had it on my hand. Yeah, when you rub your finger across it, you end up getting water out of it. That's a real loose pocket of quartz. Dry off. Wasting film. Oh, wait a minute, that's digital. And I'm still going to have those chips out on the bottom. I don't want to cut that off. Then it'll put too much of that quartz on this edge. So it's already coming around the edge more than I want it to. As you can see the chip right there on that edge of it, on my finger, on that edge of the quartz. There it is. But that's chipped out of it. Not a big chip, but afraid if I round that off anymore or get any more of that exposed on this edge, it's going to chip off pretty good sized. Got quite a bit of room down under here, but from there to there is an angle about like that. So, but I don't want chips on this lip. There's still water in that thing. I bet I could take an air hose and spray this or blow air on this side and it'll put a bunch of water out on this side. Look at that, it's still coming out of there. And my hands are dry. Every time I wipe across that, it brings out more water. And it's coming out of this bug, not this one. Still got some in that one too. Well, that's about as empty as it's going to get. There you can see the bugs on that side. That one's a pretty good size, but that's the one that had all the water in it. It's pretty broken up inside of there. Pretty brachiated. Okay, let's go to the 220 grit. Still got water coming out of it. Going to the 220, dummy. Felt like a gouge. It weren't though. It's really hard to do corners that sharp without leaving flat spots on them. I'm going to go ahead and go to the 280 grit. Take some of this more rough stuff off so I can see what I'm working with a little better. It doesn't hurt. If you do it long enough, it'll bleed. Feeling a lot better already. Now it's domed enough that I can use the center by itself without getting into the outside edges of these soft wheels too, so happy there. Keep my knuckle off that 220 wheel. Surprised I'm not bleeding yet. You can see a few little red spots there where I've ground it off. These are the type that, when you get a scrape on the end on your knuckle like that, I remember from when I was a kid, whenever it'd heal up, the scar would stick up higher than the rest of the finger because you gouged it out this way because your knuckle was flexed when you scraped it. That's what I was looking for. That tells me a lot. You can see it when I show the reflection. See the little dark or dull spots? Those are deeper cut than the rest of it. They're kind of like soft spots. It's where it was undercut. Just because of the way I had to run the wheel on it, more than likely. Without being able to run it both directions yet. Here's the other side. It's got the same things. At least now I can see them. So now I'll be able to tell when I work them out on the 220. Go ahead and shut that down. My knuckle's hurting still. I may not be able to finish all three of these wheels today. On this front half, with this agate. Simply because I shut that off. I'll turn that back on. Dry it off and see what we got. While it's still a little wet, that should let us know. Okay. A few little spots on there that are a little uneven, might work out. And I can get away from gouging. On the edges again first. Every time my finger bounces, it makes it look like there's a bigger gouge. Wiping it across, the thumb will bounce a little bit and it'll leave lines. Optical delusions. And I know that's not right, but you can comment on it if you want to. Optical illusions is what I should have said, but I said delusions. Because only I would think up stuff like that it's a gouge rather than where my thumb's jumping. Okay, I tell you what, I'm going to move to the next wheel. I think I've got these polka dot spots down far enough for now that I can take them out with the 600 grit and not leave more scratches. Take a few out and put a few back in. It's like one step forward, two steps back, or one step forward, half a step back, and I just ain't got time for that. My finger's hurting. Okay. I'm going to just try this wheel for now. See what it's going to do. So I don't want to do these last three wheels yet. I just want to see if I'm right. If I can set it down and not have to go back to that wheel. Even going back to that wheel is not going to be that big of a deal though. Anyway, so it's not like it's going to matter that much. These three are still going to be faster than those three. And it's 6 o'clock, so that's 4 hours, 3 hours, 3.5. I don't remember when I started this last time after I got done eating. Let's see what I got. Those are inclusions also. Those are, looks like scratches, but the white goes out past the edge of the scratch. Or it looks like a little cloudy, like a rock going through water, how it leaves a bubble trail behind it. But they're still a pain in the butt. And I want to get them out of there. If I have to cut all the way down through them. At least make them thinner where they're not going to show up as bad. I wouldn't mind the white cloud looking part, the scratch part looking part that I don't like. I might have just scuffed my quartz in the middle. 1200 grit. Here we come. Lint. There you go. Off. Edges. In there. In the center of the wheel. Much better, much better. Swirl marks like a buffer. I do have a few little scratches in that crystal pocket right here, but they're not real big scratches. And I think the 3000 take them out. I'm moving over. I'm ready to get done with this. It's 9 o'clock. Do your edges first. I'd like to get that quartz. It's so clear. Some of it's so clear that I'd like to get it really super shiny, but if I can't, I can't. No sense just keeping busting some of it, busting it out of there where it'll scratch the rest of it. Just get it as best I can. It's all shiny, but some of it's like it's got, you can tell it's got quartz crystals inside the inside the crystal, a single crystal. So it's got inclusions, I guess you could say. Cloudy crystals. There's cloudy crystals and clear crystals. Maybe it's the cleavage planes on the way the crystals aligned. I know there's something to do with that. That's why you're getting all this little sparkly stuff. That's what it looks like. Got a really good shine to it. And you can see hopefully it's coming through where the dark, there's darker gray crystals and light crystals. Hopefully that's focusing. So it just kind of makes it shine a little different. But the agate's all good and shiny, and the edges are good. I still got to take a brush to them, get all that dust out of the edges, out of the bugs and the edges and the chips. And here There's the other side. The other side, the small side, got a little shinier than the big side because it's got smaller crystals. Just none of them showed up or turned up as big. All the bigger crystals were on the other side. It's a nice looking rock. Let me get my flashlight out. It's letting a lot more light through than it did when I first started working on it. Got some good lines in the fortification lines in that dark agate. Got a little bit of darker orange in some of it, and then a darker blackish brown, and then that quartz in the middle. That lighter yellow agate looks pretty cool. But it's give you a little reflection so you can see the shine. I did that yet. So that one's finished too. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you like these to be shorter. I haven't published any of them yet or put any of them on YouTube yet. Haven't even really edited out but one or two, I think, two. But I'm going to be starting to work on that here. It's winter time. I'll have to do some of that. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for putting up with me and listening to me. Like I said, I'm still an amateur. I just like to try to keep people informed. Thanks for watching and have a good day.